Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Happy New Year. We're already almost 2 weeks into the year, to 2025. And from my perspective, it has been a crazy start to the year. Personally, my family has experienced some loss, so we're going through some grief. My corporate job has been crazy stressful. I know friends that have been laid off and are going through job losses. There are fires burning in Los Angeles. One of my best friends was displaced from her home, and I know many others were. A political climate that can feel hostile at times, and I'm sure you, personally, could list 1,000 other things that come to mind based on your own personal experiences. So there's just a lot. So sometimes New Year's goals and getting healthy habits established, that can feel a little bit insignificant and unimportant at times like these. And I would agree with you. I have had my own moments where I'm like, I really shouldn't be thinking about my goals right now. Why does it matter if I get healthy when there's all this stuff going out on the world? But I want to offer a different perspective. I think that times like these might be the most important time to stick with your goals. And hear me out on this. There are always going to be things thrown your way. There are always going to be things that are out of your control. And the one thing you can control is yourself, your own thoughts, your own actions or reactions. So when everything else feels out of control, doing a few things for yourself that you can control can help make things feel a little less chaotic and can even bring some hope into the world. The other thing I want to mention is that when you stick with what you've committed to, amidst all the chaos and life circumstances, and when you don't feel like it, you will prove to yourself that you can literally do anything. And you're not just doing something because you have a goal of losing weight. When you stick to that, you are building confidence in yourself and trust in yourself, and you're proving to yourself that no matter what, you honor commitments to yourself. And I don't think that's selfish at all. I think when you start honoring your own commitments and you're showing up with highest integrity, and a person with high integrity is not doing things just for themselves. It is inevitably going to spread out and into the world and to the people around them, and I believe they will change other people's lives in the process. And I'm not just being dramatic. I think, I truly believe this. And I also want to offer a dichotomy, because I think we can feel maybe a little bit guilty when there's things going on for feeling good feelings, if that makes sense. But we live in a dichotomy of emotions where two things that are in conflict couldn't be true at the same time. You can hold space for feeling incredibly sad due to a loss, but you can also at the same time feel so incredibly grateful for what you do have. Or you can feel absolutely devastated by the destruction of natural disasters, but also so proud of the helpers and the community that's coming together. And those can both exist at the same time. So just like there are so many things going on, you may feel a certain way about those outside circumstances, you can also still be working towards your own goals to get healthier, to be the best version of yourself, to build trust and integrity. You can still do that. And I don't want you to feel guilty about that. Okay, so even though it may not be the current time where you're at, maybe it's not 2025, maybe you're watching years later, I'm sure that you can relate to some of this. And I wanted to start this video with that because I think that there's always going to be external circumstances, things out of our control. So you can probably still relate to this. And I still think, again, goals are important. So let's get into goals a little bit. And you may be cringing at that word. You may be somebody that absolutely hates writing goals and you don't write your goals in the New Year's, or you could be someone like me that loves it. I love writing my goals. But there have been times when I don't like writing goals. And I'm going to assume if you don't like writing goals, it's because you don't typically stick with them or you don't achieve them. And I want to challenge you to actually write out goals and then list out the actions you need to achieve them, and then do it, and then take action. And I have one overarching goal for the year. And I think this needs to be your one overarching goal for the year as well. And it is to do the things I say I'm going to do. Like I kind of talked about in the beginning, do the things I say I'm going to do. It's building integrity, building trust with myself. And I mean, if I hit that one goal, like everything else is just going to work itself out. Am I right? The most successful people in life, in business, in their health are people that honor their commitments to themselves. If they say they're going to get up and work out at 5 a.m., they get up and they work out at 5 a.m. If they say they're going to make a certain number of sales calls in a day, they pick up the phone, they make the calls, no negotiating, they just do it. This is not easy. You're probably like, this sounds hard. It is hard because we make it hard on ourselves. It is so easy for us to give into excuses and make compromises with ourselves and then justify it, but it doesn't get us where we want to go, right? We're literally robbing ourselves of our dreams with just a lot of really dumb excuses. So I'm doing 75 hard to kick off the year. I'll get more into that later if you're not familiar with what that means. And part of my commitment to myself is to honor my alarm clock. I have it set for 5 a.m. And I, at that time, want to get up, get my workout clothes on, start my morning routine. And the other morning, my alarm clock went off on Friday, and I felt like I had just been hit by a train. I was so tired. I felt like I had less than an hour of sleep. My body felt heavy. It just didn't feel like I could roll myself out of bed at all. So I started this inner dialogue with myself, and tell me if this sounds familiar to anybody else, but I was like, well, it's Friday. I work from home. I can probably get my reading and my workout in later after the kids leave, and I can have like 30 more minutes of sleep. But then I was like going through and I'm like, wait, but I have all these other things I want to get done later in the day. And if I push that, I got to push this and blah, blah, blah. I finally just counted down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and popped myself out of bed and just went along with my morning routine. But I wasted a good 5 minutes combating my excuses and battling with myself in my head to get myself out of bed. And you know what? That's normal. Even me, who's been doing a morning routine for a good 8 years, I have those times where I have to like talk myself out of bed. And I think some people though, and this used to be me, will give in to every single excuse that pops into their head. And guess what? They're not getting to where they want to go. They are not achieving their goals. And if that's you, you're giving in to your excuses. And so the first thing I want you to do is to make a decision that you are going to adopt this mindset and have this one overarching goal to do the things you say you're going to do no matter what. Through all the excuses that come up and through all the circumstances that life throws your way, you make that commitment. And the second thing I want you to understand is that this is a muscle that you have to train and practice and build up. And just like training muscles in a gym, the more you do it, the stronger you get. And on the flip side, the less you do it, the harder it is to lift the weights and the more atrophy you experience. And the more you make compromises with yourself, the easier it will be to continue making compromises with yourself. And this leads to distrust and ultimately not reaching your goals. And like I said, not wanting to set goals and feeling shame or embarrassment or just like it's not going to work. But on the flip side, if you practice and you get better at doing what you say you're going to do, honor your commitments you've made to yourself, the better you'll get at doing so and the more successful you will be. Okay, so we've set up the mindset, we've set up the overarching goal that you should have for your year, and now you get to pick your specific goals and the habits and actions you need to take to achieve those goals. You just want to make sure that you are very specific with yourself. If you create a very vague goal, you're going to leave it up for interpretation and it's going to be easy to make compromises. So, and honestly, sometimes I think we do this intentionally, like not on a conscious level, but just we leave things really vague so that we can give ourselves an out or a little wiggle room or a fudge so we don't have to do things. And we just don't fully commit. And I need you to be very specific and fully commit. That is what's going to get you to your goals. So pick out exactly the habits, the daily actions that you're going to commit to doing and when. And these are the things that will get you there. And I have a video I'm going to link here with some helpful tips on starting new habits. So take a look at that when you get a chance. You've got the mindset of how you're going to approach this. You've got your very specific goals and the very specific actions that you're going to take. And now you're just going to do it. Easy, right? Remind yourself, though, that this is a muscle you're building. And once you build up this muscle, once you start with maybe like a health goal or something and you commit to getting up and working out every day, once you build that, it's going to flow into other areas of your life and it's going to get easier. So it's not going to be easy in the beginning. It will get easier though. I know I talk mostly about health and wellness goals. So what wellness goals should you have? I'm not going to tell you that. I want you to determine those for yourself. I will share a little bit of what I'm doing, but my goals might not be what aligns for you, okay? So I really want you to take some time to think about what makes sense for you, what aligns for you. For me, I am doing 75 hard. This is my little challenge tracker, and I want to complete this goal. One, all the actions that they have you take align with my health goals, but more importantly than that, it is really a challenge of integrity and doing the things you say you're going to do and doing these daily habits. So it consists of 5 actions that you take every single day for 75 days. 1 is following a diet, any diet that you choose, strictly, no cheating, no alcohol. 2 45-minute workouts, 1 inside, 1 outside. Drinking a gallon of water every single day, taking a progress photo every single day, and reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day. So you're learning something new. It's not just for entertainment, but some sort of personal development book. And if you skip a day or you compromise or fudge a little bit on that, you have to start all over. So you want to do it. You want to train yourself to do the things you say you're going to do. And I think this is a really great way to do that. I will do another video later on my progress and maybe a little more in depth on what I am doing for all of these. But I hope that was helpful. I hope this just gives you a little bit different perspective as you're going in, that sticking with your goals is actually a really big deal. And it's not just going to help you in that one area. It's training yourself on how to act, training your brain on how to act with the highest integrity. Okay, what questions do you have? Pop those below. And also, I want to know your goals. Tell me what goals you're working towards this year. And I hope that you have the best 2025 ahead. Thank you for being here. See you next time.